Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Prasanna and today I'm starting a new series in AI engineering and we are going to dive deeper into one of the most important concepts called function calling, and I'm going to do it with OpenAI API. So by default, LLM can only do one thing. It can only generate the text based on the data it was trained on, and it doesn't know any real-time information. So if you ask something like what is the weather outside or what's in your database or who sent you the email, it isn't going to answer you, but rather it will hallucinate and give some made up answers. But what if we give it some superpowers? What if the LM could actually reach out and run your Python function and get your weather data or send you some email for you? And that's what the tools are. Tools give the LM an agentic power and which can actually take some real-time actions in the real world. So in this video, that's exactly I'm going to show you how to implement the function calling with OpenAI API. So let's get started and I'll see you in the VS Code. So here we are in VS Code now. Let's create one directory. New folder. Let's open this. Let's open the terminal and let's initialize it now. And now let's create the virtual environment with the help of UV. And we are now in the virtual environment, and with the help of UV you will also get these files, the toml files, and UV is very fast Python package manager, which is 10 to 100 times even faster than the pip, so it is highly recommended to use UV instead of pip. And toml is a config file for the project, which gives the project names, the version, and you can also add the description here, like function calling with OpenAI API. Okay, let's save it. And now, okay, so in order to run any module with the help of UV, you just type UV run Python main.py. That's it. So let's create one environment file. And here I will paste my OpenAI API key. Alright. So I have already created my OpenAI API key. You can create one and paste it here, just like this, and click on save. Let's check if our API key is working or not with the help of some code. So let's import our API key from the environment variable. I think we have not installed the dependency. Let's install that with the help of UV. So we can say like UV add OpenAI and python.env, and we can see like yes, we have installed our dependencies and now we are good to go. From .env So let's create one client from the OpenAI class. Client.chat.com, please. Great. So here I'm going to select the GPT-4 mini because it is very cheap and it will not cost much. And in the meshes it is the list of dictionary. So the role will be the user, and content will be your message, I mean your prompt. So we can ask like, what is Wi-Fi? Okay. All right. And we can print here like response dot choices message dot content. Hit on save and let's run it. Let's see our API key is working or not. Yeah, it is working, and we can see the what is Wi-Fi. I mean the Wi-Fi, which stands for the wireless fidelity, and this is this. Okay, so this is the response we get from the chat GPT-4 mini, and here is the model selection, and this is the message, which means the role, and the content, which means the prompt which we are typing here. And if you want to see how I write this response, the choices, that message, that content, we can see from here actually. Let's add one dependency and we can visualize it much clearer. From rich, import, print, and let's print the response variable. Alright, so this is the real output. This is well formatted and very easy to visualize. So we can see that, yeah, this is the response from the chat GPT GPT-4 mini version, and this is the actual answer returned by this model. And we can traverse from the response, which is the response variable, and response to choices. And since this is the list, the choices is the list, I'm retrieving the first element in the list, and here is the message and then content. So this is how we are retrieving the actual message returned by the chat GPT. Okay, so now let's dive into our main scope of the video and implementing the function calling from API from scratch. So let's import our environment variable and also the required dependencies for this project. From OpenAI import OpenAI SDK, and also from reach import print, and also import JSON. We also gonna need JSON. So now let's create a client object from OpenAI class, and the first step is to define a function tool schema. So actually it's a define the tool schema. Okay, so in this case we are going to implement the weather API as a tool. So let's create a schema for that. So weather tool, it's gonna be dictionary. Okay, so type function, and inside the function the name will be get weather, and we're gonna say the description. And let's create the parameters. The type will be object, and the properties in the city type will be string, and the description will be the city name. And the other parameters, we're gonna say that the required parameter is the city, and there is no additional properties. Alright, so this is the tool schema, and now let's define the function get weather. So that will be our step 2. So for now, so let's return city and so for now we are just returning the hard-coded temperature. We will implement the weather API in the next video. So we will weather API in the next video. Okay, so now in the step 3 we are going to implement the actual tool handling. Okay, so handle tool call loop, because it will be in a loop, in a while loop. So let's define the function run with tools, and let's pass the user message, and let's create a list of messages, and the role will be user and the content will be the user message. Okay, and now let's create a while loop. In the response, client dot chat, let's have a model GPT. I'm going to use the same GPT model 4 mini because it is very cheap, and let's pass the list of message and also the tools. So it's gonna be the list of tools. We will have the weather tool, and let's extract the result now. Response dot choices. Okay, and let's print this choice to visualize this. And now so if the LLM asks for the tool, because we will ask the LLM about the weather of a city, then LLM gonna say that, oh, I need the tool for this because I can't answer this, right? So for any question, if the LLM needs a tool, it's gonna returns that the list of tools. Okay, so if, and in this case the reasoning will not finished by the LLM, and in this case till this condition will gonna true, and let's get the tool name now, the tool call, and we will also see this when we print this response variable. I think it is in the choice that message dot, yeah, and we'll extract the tools because we have only one tools, so we'll extract the first tools now. So the function name will gonna be the tool call dot function dot name. Okay, so this is the name of our function and this is the string. Let's extract the arguments. because it is in the JSON format, so we have to convert this into a dictionary. Arguments, and now let's call the function here. And since the function name which we have here is just a string, so we have to map this to the actual function which we have defined globally. So we will write this as a tool name, globals dot get, and we'll pass the function name which is the string at this time. And inside this tool name, which is the function, now we are going to pass here the arguments, and we have to first unpack it. So double asterisk and argument. Okay, it's tool name, not the tool call. And now we're gonna append this into the message and send back to the LLM. And at this time the role will be tool, because this message is written by the tool. Okay, and the content will be from the tool, which is the function tool, and we will convert this into the JSON. And we will also give the tool ID. We have the tool call .id. And once the LLM complete reasoning and it has finished the reasoning, and it doesn't want any tools to call, then it will simply return the else block. Okay, so now let's print this and run with, oh, I think I missed L here. And let's pass something like what is the weather in Tokyo. Let's save it and let's run. What is, okay, let's run it. And here we go. We get the answer from the LLM. The weather in Tokyo is currently 22 degrees Celsius and sunny. So what happened is, it is, since we can see that it is in the while loop and it is infinitely running, and it will run up to when the LLM stop reasoning and give the final answer, until it gives the final answer. And in the last loop, and in the second loop, we can see that the finish reason stops here and it doesn't call any tools. But in the first run, when we ask the LLM what is the weather in Tokyo, the LLM says that I want a tool to answer this, and it returns the tool ID and the function, which is the get weather, and the arguments. And we can see that this is a JSON string, right? And we have to convert this into a dictionary, and which we did here, and JSON that loads, and we pass this argument to the tool here, and the tool name is simply the function which we defined here in the get weather. So we are simply unpacking this dictionary and sending back the arguments here in the function, and we will again append this result which is returned by the function to the message and send back to the LLM. And now in the second call, it will the LLM finally return the answer, and the reasoning stops, and we get the final answer. So that's how the function calling work with the OpenAI API, and we can give even more capabilities to the LLM by implementing such function and the tools, and this is actually what we call agentic AI. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video. We will implement this with the actual weather API call in the next one.